What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Sports Show right here on a Feel Good Football Friday. It is Sturch. It is Gooch.
Playoffs.
We are coming to you live from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. The show is also brought to you in part by Absolute Eyewear. Getting involved here, Janine and Craig Mashad in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Gotta love those guys. As always, it's been a really interesting morning. We've been doing a lot of stuff today. I feel like we've crammed.
Looks like he's got a lot going on right now.
Right now, I do, because the producer's not here, so I'm just trying to figure out how to get all this rolling here.
There we go.
We got good morning. Look at Peter.
Whoa, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? Getting involved here,
Nick.
Yeah. So good morning to the fellas. Sam, we saw yesterday. He's going to be hooking the Chop Studios up with a little lighting going forward. I think we're gonna update that over
What's
here.
Up, Go Birds, Danny. When are you gonna come pick up your football, dude?
Why don't we just throw it out?
Break buds.
What do you think? You want to punt it?
Punting
Let's
contest?
punt it. Let's have a punting contest with that stupid Darius Slay ball. What's up, boys? Coming from the break buds who are down the hall. To be honest
got
with
Scooter Paulman, and what was the other nickname that we gave? It was
Scooter Paulman.
Scooter Paulman.
For who?
This happened in the Whatnot room.
It's an inside joke with the Whatnot crew.
No, it happened in the Whatnot room, and he said that he's Phil Rizzuto's cousin or something.
Rizzuto.
So he's now Scooter Paulman because he's actually Phil Rizzuto's cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's
That's
Phil
what he said.
Rizzuto's cousin?
Ken Paulman.
No shit.
Yeah, shit.
That's awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you have some great lineage in your family history here.
Fucking nickname that.
Yeah, all right.
I'll get
it. So anyway, Kyle coming in the chat. Good morning to Kyle. Dallas Cowboys -2.5. Lock of the century. Brady is done. It's over. Well, we'll get into that on Monday. I'm not gonna stress about that. What's up, Rob? There he is. I'll turn up his micage over here, the little thingy over here. Good morning to Wrestling Rob. You can find Wrestling Rob's mug all over the Pro Wrestling TV app this morning, as we just released another episode of the Fight Fact. Did you watch it?
I saw the clip you just sent and posted on Instagram.
I'm always working, always trying to get these guys' face recognition out there. Tommy's not on it, so that doesn't matter. Exactly. So
Joe's gonna probably pop in like in the middle of a live Whatnot and try and get people to come watch our show from Whatnot while he's in there right now.
He's breaking shit right now.
He's not breaking shit right now, but he's just gonna
jump in rooms like, hey guys, go leave this break and go to YouTube.
Throughout the end of this show, by the end of this show, there might be a jersey ripped. Who knows?
Really?
What is Kyle saying? Yo, Chris, I'm going through the what? Oh, Chris, I'm going through the websites. I can't seem to find the line for the Green Bay game this weekend. Where can I find it?
That is hilarious.
Dun dun dun. Listen,
I think if you look at off-season futures, you could maybe find a line on whether Rodgers retires or not. That's about the only line you're going to get with Green Bay.
I wonder what that line is, to be honest.
We
or are they going to rehire Hackett, and is LaFleur going to hire his brother, or is he going to hire Hackett over his brother? How's that going to go down?
Turmoil.
Because
so that would be two key Packers that their families start to hate each other. nobody in Rodgers' family likes Rodgers, and now LaFleur doesn't hire his brother.
Rodgers came out last week, and he was like, "Well, Jordan Love's like I love him like a little brother." So I guess you don't like him because he doesn't
like his little brother. Yeah, that's kind of odd. But anyway, a lot to get into today. Obviously, it's Super Wild Card Weekend. So again, welcome to the boys. I see Ken is finally in the room.
He is Pookie Paulman.
Pookie Paulman. I dated a girl with her. We nicknamed her Pookie for no reason whatsoever.
Sounds like
it was brutal.
Sounds like a wrestling.
That's what I thought you were thinking.
Sounds like a wrestling super fan or a prison girlfriend.
No, it was high school. It's my high school sweetheart, actually. Yeah, imagine that.
Dave and Pookie. Nobody ate no chicken nuggets, pizza, and
actually,
fucking French fries.
Really well. I'm telling you, man. I have to be the worst person to live with, date, everything like that. Like I can't go out to dinner. Like I go to the kids' meal and shit.
Yeah, Kyle, I was really looking forward to getting my teeth kicked in by San Fran one more time in the playoffs.
You know, Kyle says that, and we'll get into all the games. We're going to go in chronological order. I guess we could start. We're all 0-0-0. The regular season champ has his belt on his mantle at home, and that is Wrestling Rob. He's won the regular season, but now this is when, like, regular season is fun and all, but if you can lock down these playoff picks, man, you can bet heavier. There's only 5 of them this weekend, so that's bigger. I don't want to come up with a point system here, but like I guess like
I have a point system already designed for an NFL.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
You're
So
the
what is it?
weirdest fucking kid I've ever met in my life.
You have so many different fucking things. Yeah, dude, I just
fucking don't worry, Dave. I already have one implemented in my fucking
dude. I swear to God, it's like, you know what? The way I run my 13th league is very awkward. And like I'm just like,
but these things are fun. And here's the truth of these.
And by the end of the conversation, you will convince me to play your way.
The best was yesterday. Hold on, the best was yesterday when we're sitting here talking, and Chris is like, "Yeah, I was playing fantasy football. I had Marshall Falk in 1996." I'm like, bro, on your fucking Nextel?
Not even.
No, bro.
Before phones, bro.
I was doing that shit by hand.
And he actually
in high school. When I was in high school, I know for a fact, and you are older than me. We had computers in our house, but it was like you might have had one.
No, bro, I was taking the USA Today on Monday morning because it had all the teams, not just the local paper. And I would in math class, I just didn't care about math. I would get ISS on purpose. I would be in detention.
With Ken Paulman watching over you in ISS.
How were you putting? If you played a sport and you were late to school, they would give you detention after a while, and then I would skip detention because I was going to practice, and they would give me ISS. I'd be like, "This is solid." Like I could just do my work at my own pace. I don't have to sit in class. And it was like Ken Paulman was the ISS
I know.
teacher.
Sam Grass was saying, Wrestling Rob going for the playoffs Intercontinental Championship this weekend.
It's got to be a bigger belt. It's got to be a bigger title.
I used to do fantasy football with the USA Today in math. That's why I don't know.
Gooch, this is great. Scoop just gave us. Gooch was drawing the S in his notebook. Everybody knows that S, right?
All day.
100%, bro.
Oh man, that's great. That is fucking
Scoop
fantastic.
takes one to know one, buddy.
And Scoop is also inviting everybody watching this show right now. That Casey's 30th birthday is tomorrow at his house.
They have to dress up.
Had RSVP'd, or right? Do you think it's like a Comic-Con thing, or it has to be a character?
How come I didn't get an invite?
He's just inviting everybody right now, but he did invite me on the individual basis. So if you're ever wondering who he likes more out of myself and Chris, it's definitely me. But
I think he probably knows that I wouldn't show up.
That's 100% accurate. Like, there's no reason to ask you to do anything. You don't do anything. Plus, it's baby weekend and whatever the fuck you guys got going on.
I didn't forget about Scoop's party, Kyle, because I had no fucking idea about it.
Well, we all know now that Scoops is throwing his wife a 30th birthday party at his house. I had already committed to going, but then I don't know. I mean, I haven't been out in a long time. It's playoffs. I don't know. The Jaguars will be on, so maybe that is a good. You have a nice TV at least, bro. Because I need to be. I hate that, by the way. You ever go to these things?
I have a feeling you're going to walk into some weird shit.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's Cossette's
you're about to
party.
Get,
Everyone
about
comes
to
dressed as your favorite mythical creature.
Pass your wife to the left or something weird at
bro.
Scoop's house.
Oh, good. You brought her. Oh, good. She gets she's actually being loaned to the group over there in the left corner.
Hey,
you get the group over here.
Leroy, come on out.
Scoop will definitely put his arm around you in every picture you take too.
He's one of those. He's like Tony Khan. He just likes to hug everybody. No, but the thing I was about to bring up was I hate when people say that to me. Like when I'm invited places,
like pass your wife over
during
to the left.
Well, that's who I hate that. It's never fun. But when people say to me, like to invite me somewhere, and then they go, but don't worry, the games will be on. Like I'm just like in my head, I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me because I have to watch a football game and I have to watch. But no, I have to watch the football game. If you're at a bar, you dictate who's around you, you dictate where you're watching, and you can ignore everybody around you. When you're at some kind of social gathering at a party, you got to interact with people. And I don't really want to do that. So that's why I'm kind of up in the air about Scoop's party. If Kyle goes, I'll go. Because I hang out with Kyle the whole time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going solo. So it's just like, I need somebody to roll with.
What day is this?
This is this Saturday.
Ash, you want to go?
Want to go to Scoop's house?
I don't know what kind of weird shit we're going to get ourselves into.
You might want to bring leather and chains and shit. I don't know. It's up to Scoop. Scoop's a weird motherfucker, dude. Scoop is into some weird
I'm going to wear like an autographed Keenan Allen jersey.
That's what Kyle says going into Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Man, Kyle, if you're in, I'm in.
Kyle, I'll wear your autographed Keenan Allen jersey.
And I'll wear
in the fucking other room still.
I'll just wear a big lightning bolt.
Wear WWE gear. Jaguars.
I'll just wear a Tony Khan t-shirt. That'll be me rooting for the Jaguars. But all right, let's get into the games.
Bang.
Yes, bang. We got ourselves some playoffs to lean on.
Guys, it's just a normal party.
Yeah, right. It's like
why? You know how he's lying? He said Jesus Christ.
It's a normal part. Yeah, you don't even believe in Jesus Christ, so that's fugazi. All right, if you ask me. Kyle said he's going, so I'm in. Let's go. Let's fucking rage.
+1.
It's gonna be a good day. There's my +1.
We no longer are invited. That's awesome.
Offer rescinded. Oh,
we did it.
No one's invited.
That's
damn.
Perfect.
That's coming out the woodwork, man. You're what an Indian giver you are.
I'll tell you that I'm gonna come, and then I'll be like, I'm on my way.
Literally. What's going I wasn't going there, but you decided to go there.
On my way.
God.
You got chicken wings, right?
Can we order pizza?
Make sure you put some chicken wings.
Yeah, what's the
aside for
food menu like? Because again, I'm not
tater tots and fucking aluminum foil. Dave's not coming. Just letting you know now. Fuck. Have the toaster oven on fucking air fryer.
If there's no bagel bites, you can count me way
I was
out.
gonna dose the party with bath salts.
Hey, there you go.
Joe wants to come. Joe wants to know if he could break mem.
He lives in South Plain.
Can I break mem?
I shouldn't give his address out, but
Joe's
he lives
like,
in
can I
South
break
Plainfield.
mem in the living room while the party's happening?
We're like halftime, like the halftime score is like waddle waddle, shake it, here we go.
Scooby, mind if I smoke this joint clip in your backyard?
He's like, guys, it's like 2 a.m. Joe's like, guys, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done, guys?
Gooch, I got one more question for you. Are we done?
I understand that everybody's passed out
Holy
somehow,
shit.
but I got a question for you. Are we done?
Oh man,
He's
that
there
is
he is. Are
funny
we
shit.
done?
I'm getting played out. I hear it happening, and then again.
Oh, that is.
Oh my God,
fucking hilarious,
that's great.
bro. That is
Joe in
good
the
stuff.
building.
The break butt himself.
Are we done? Oh my
Oh,
God!
is he
But we're
done?
not done.
Let's go, boys.
We're not done with these picks. We got to start them. We got to start them off right here. So the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy and company will be hosting the Seattle Seahawks. The spread is 9.5. It's huge right now. Over under very low-ish because both defenses, well, at least the 49ers defense is very good. Now
Oh, wait,
we're hearing about
football.
some.
How did we just
I
transition?
know, I transitioned real
I'm reading
nice,
like
dude.
about bath salts and
I know.
like a narcotic encouraged environment, and you're talking about Brock Purdy.
Both. I mean, same, right? But anyway, so the Niners, right? Whew. So all of a sudden, I was talking to my boy Greg, who is, by the way, the manager at Subaru, at Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru. He was saying that he's a little nervous. He's a 49er fan. He said he's starting to feel it a little bit. He thinks that the weather is going to be a thing. I think he's trying to psych himself out.
Wait. We've had conversations.
We have had conversations
about his fanhood in particular.
Okay,
And
that he's not as hardcore as.
Well, not that he's not as
us.
hardcore, is that he, like, what is he nervous about? Based on what?
He said the weather.
Oh.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
It's supposed to be
so-
rainy and windy.
So, like, the 49ers
better for
go
the
into Green
49ers?
Bay year after year and dominate games because of the weather, right? They're the best bad weather team in football, I think. Who's better than them? The dink and dunk and hand the ball off.
Yeah.
They got Brock Purdy. They have no interest in going down the field whatsoever. And could you really – they have the best closing speed I've seen on a defense besides the Bucs the year they won the Super Bowl. And it was really just in the playoffs that year where they looked really fast. But as soon as it looks like the 49ers against that defense, you'll have a 6-yard gain, and then all of a sudden it gets snubbed out in one split second, and it's a 1-yard.
Do you have any faith in the Seattle offense to move the ball at all?
Not in the rain. The only vulnerability that I'm seeing out of the 49ers defense is their back end. And if it's raining, it's going to make it harder for the receivers. I don't know what the weather's like. Is it going to be raining?
Raining and windy is what they're
All right,
calling
I mean,
for.
that's
Now, remember,
49er
Kyle just bringing it
That was
up.
week 1.
Remember week 1, though. San Fran, Bears, and I can't really take too much stock or put too much stock into week 1 through like 3. I really can't because of the fact that, there's no preseason, there's nobody playing.
Bro,
It's just weird.
there was 2 plays that happened in that game that Justin Fields made.
Well, that game was in Chicago,
There
by
is
the way.
no player on the Seattle offense that's capable of making that type of play. I think there was one where he rolled left and he threw it back across his body right, and it was a schoolyard play.
That was also
but
Trey Lance.
It was also like 3rd and 19, and they scored a touchdown on it. So I'm not seeing that out of Geno, and maybe DK could make a couple plays, but like I said,
I think
with the weather being what it is, they're going to really rely on Kenneth Walker to run the ball against that defense.
If I had to think of a situation of how the Seahawks can stay in this game, it is an absolute like back and forth slugfest. I don't know if they can do that. Unfortunately, the Niners are in complete control when it comes to if they get a lead here and they have to rely on their defense. This isn't even close. It's not even close. Like if for whatever reason the Niners get up 13-3 or something shit like that, in my mind I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me the Seahawks got to not only score 10 or 11 technically to win the game, but and also keep CMC at bay. Like if this game goes one way early, I don't see any comebacks coming out of Seattle.
49ers are beating the piss out of teams. The following week, teams can't what's happened. What's the stat? Is that the 49ers that the teams after the 49ers haven't won all year? Like you play the 49ers and you lose the next week, every single team. I don't know if it's them.
What are they on, a 5-game winning streak too, right?
The 49ers, they were 3-4. They haven't lost 10. They won out.
Yeah.
They've won the last 3 months.
Yeah, they were 3-4. And
They ran the table after 3 and 4.
Yeah. They're a good fucking team.
They are.
And it's like they're humming right now.
And
Their
they were
offense is
worse.
playing
I mean, at
better.
3 and 4,
They had no Debo. They had quarterback injuries.
CMC wasn't there.
Their corners out for year, out for year, out for year. It's their pass rush, their ability to close the distance on defense when teams are trying to run the ball, and their coach that's willing to just be so boring and stick with what works. They don't have to stretch the field ever, but they're still beating up on teams.
Yeah.
My t-shirt's way better, whoever that is.
I don't know. Facebook user, come on over to YouTube so we can see who you are, or at least tell us who you are. But and Kyle, it's so funny. I asked him the same thing the other day. He's like, oh yeah, I'm like, okay, great, okay.
Dom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's probably Dom Morrow of the Dude Cast. My assumption is he was here last night recording that. That was awesome, by the way. Mikey Wonkyo. San Francisco beat Seattle combined 48-20 in 2 games. Seattle scored 20 combined, and San Francisco has never scored less than 21. Well, there you have it. 21-20 final. Done. Cover for the Seattle Seahawks.
They scored 20 and 2 combined, so it would be 21.
Seahawks allow the most yards after catch, while San Francisco offense racks up the most yards after catch. So, look, this is a complete recipe for disaster.
Seattle has good corners, though.
Dead. They have good corners. I think there's a little bit of like an Allen Iverson-esque type deal here. When I say like not a really good on-the-ball defender, but we'll step in front and take one away. So they have turnovers. They force a lot of turnovers, but really these guys are probably playing above their heads for the season so far.
I would say
Diggs and these guys.
That's a good point.
I would say that you can't, and it's going to be shitty out. The key right now is going to be, ready for this stat, missed tackles. Seattle has to wrap up and put these guys on the ground, because if the San Francisco 49ers are the Yak Kings, he just said,
yeah, the offensive
they're going to hum.
Feast on that D-line, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. I don't know. All right, well, let's make the pick, right? We got other games to get to. Let's make the pick.
Shanahan hates Pete Carroll.
We'll start with Gooch. Are they covering the 9.5? Yeah.
I think they're going to cover 19 and a half.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they beat the shit out of them, 38 to something. They're going to eat them alive. It's over right away.
Okay. I will.
So, Chris, you're taking.
He's taking San Francisco.
Fran.
I will take the Seahawks to keep this closer than 9.5. I think they're going to fight. I truly do. If this game's even like 10-6 at some point, you know what I mean? Like this game could get messy. And if it gets sloppy over there in San Francisco, who knows what could happen. So that's the only reason why I think Seattle might keep this close. I picture the San Francisco 49ers running away with this, but it is playoffs. The Seattle Seahawks are playing loose. They're playing with the whole we shouldn't be here.
The spread is going to be like 11 by the time the kickoff. I think it's going to go up more.
I don't know. I'm with Seattle just to cover the number. I don't think they win by any stretch, but even in the mind, 29-20 is me covering. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of score, having a 2-score lead technically is a cover on this one.
I can't see them putting up.
I'm hard on doing it too, but Walker. Yeah, here you go. Walker gets started early, 60 yards in the first half. It's not blowout city. So Walker, that's very apparent. If the Seattle Seahawks can establish the run, keep the San Francisco 49ers off the field, there's a lot of intangibles here. But ultimately, I think San Francisco wins the game.
One team's going to have to take risks, and one team's not going to have to take risks. And if the weather, I don't have to explain it any further.
I hope that's not the same eye you watch soccer with.
He's actually cleaned up in soccer, actually. He's
I
been
can't
doing
buy
rather
into
well.
that Kenneth Walker is going to be able to put the team on his back, and the 49ers defense is too good. Anyway,
I'm also taking San Fran.
All right, so I'm a lone wolf on the old Seattle Seahawks here. All right, moving on to the nightcap, where everybody will be blitzed over at Scoop's house. Apparently, it is the LA Chargers traveling to Duval County to take on the Jaguars. Now, Jaguars, obviously, we know their story. They turned it up at the end. They won the division. They get the home game. The Chargers, in the beginning, I felt like a little bit of back and forth football. Then all of a sudden, Justin Herbert gets hot, just like he usually does, and gets to the playoffs. Now, what I will say about the Chargers is this. I don't think that their coach is any good. I think his usage of Austin Eckler is very suspect. I understand Eckler has over 100 catches, so obviously he has to be on the field a lot. But I feel like he needs to be on the field like all the time for this to be a game for the Chargers to get in it. And I look at this, and I know Mike Williams, I believe, is actually almost trending in a direction to play, which would be great for the Chargers. I just think that the Chargers will charger in this game. Every time the Chargers get close to doing something special, they blow it somehow. The Jaguars are playing on a high. They had a win to get in. The emotions are running. Dougie P, Trevor Lawrence playing great. The running game is good. The defense is playing better. I mean, I'll start the picks off here real quick and say the Jaguars are going to win at home and probably cover that number too, either by a last-second field goal or
they're getting points. So if they
win, then they don't have to. But I will take the Jaguars outright to win this game and move it on and keep the story going.
I'm going to say I agree that Peterson's definitely going to Peterson's a better coach than Staley, but I think Herbert's just a little bit better right now than Trevor Lawrence is. They remind me of each other in the sense of the teams where the Jaguars are still going to Jaguar too. So you could say they're going to Charger.
Yeah, but
get it.
You say Jaguars are going to Jaguar. When have you seen them Jaguar?
I mean,
they're not known to be a good team for the last forever.
That's my
not
point. So
but that's expected.
Suck. And then the Jaguars have been in the AFC Championship game.
It was like way long ago.
It was
with
Bortles, right?
That was a long time ago.
So when was the last time the Chargers were?
They haven't been in the playoffs since Herbert's been around. But I'm saying when push came to shove at the very end of every season, the Chargers seem to blow it. And they can't get into the playoffs. They can't get into the postseason. Well, so now they're there. Cool. Congratulations for getting there.
Here, and I think that Staley was the reason why they didn't make the playoffs last year. They should have been a playoff team. Just like, you could make the case that the Jaguars, they earned it, but really there was the Titans suck. This is not exactly a prototype of a playoff team right here, the Jaguars. I think it's a good story, and they're playing well down the stretch, and they did what they had to do to get in. But realistically, the AFC South is fucking garbage.
AJ hitting us with some serious stats here. The Jaguars defense against short-term passes is horrendous. Herbert has one of the lowest ADOTs in football. Will kill them with the shallow game. I could see it. Yeah, sure. But again,
I just think with the full complement of weapons, the way Keenan Allen's been playing down the stretch, you could say they don't use Eckler right. I mean, still, even if they don't, he still has 20 touchdowns and 100 catches or something crazy like that. So they're using him enough. Maybe not as much as they would in between the 20s and handing the ball off in between the tackles, but they have other guys for that. It's the Keenan Allen show. It's going to be Justin Herbert is going to do. I don't even think a game might not be close, really. The Chargers could beat them up. I was leaning towards this is going to be a very tough game to call, but as it gets closer and further in the week, I'm not seeing it. It's still the Jaguars. I think the Chargers are a very similar team. They're just a little bit further ahead. They're basically what the Jaguars are going to be in a year or two.
Okay. Listen, that's fine.
She's taking Chargers.
Yeah.
AJ's hitting us with another stat. Wild card hosts who missed the playoffs the previous season, which is obviously the Jaguars, are 12-28 against the spread. Now, look, I understand there's analytics and I understand there's records and I get all that, but I can't look at that 12-28 against the spread if they missed the playoffs the year before and they're hosting a game the year after. That I can't look at that and say oh well, shit. I guess if that's the stat, this is a Jaguar team that's 100% better than last year's Jaguar team.
I don't look at that stat, but some people at least if it makes you
if
feel
it's
better.
Extra metrics,
shit like that makes me feel better about a pick that I already made, if anything. But it doesn't really necessarily make me make the pick.
That ain't gonna.
If I'm I'm on this side and I'm and I hear that about my pick, then it's that makes me feel better. It reinforces.
But it also doesn't change my mind either. I'm
no.
going with the Jaguars and I see that stat. I'm I don't care what that says. And it's no offense, it's that great stat, but I'm saying
where it's this is in 50-50 games realistically because of the point spread. Ideally, you're making it a 50-50 thing. It's a dart throw.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying no team has ever come back down from 3-0. Then it's you could say, all right, that stat matters. These don't.
I'm also taking the Chargers.
All right, so I am lone wolfing 2 games in a row here by myself on Saturday. Moving on to Sunday, which this game's going to be
no Tua,
brutal. No Tua, no Bridgewater. This is going to be the Skylar Thompson show. Traveling to Buffalo, 13.5. Now, I did read a tweet from Kyle earlier. He was talking about this game in particular, and he said, yo, did you know that Hamlin might lead the team out of the tunnel? And he's like, well, then they win by 40. There will be more emotion into this game. There will be some kind of speech or Jumbotron thing or something to do with DeMar Hamlin. You saw what happened last week. They beat up on the Patriots. That game was never in question to me, ever. What was that? Daniel's. That's hilarious. But in this one, it's a very high number for a playoff game. The Dolphins, they haven't shown me anything with Skylar Thompson. And on top of that, I know they won a game. They had to win to get in. But that was against, the Jets. And,
they
and to me,
they scored 9
they
points.
scored 11 points to win that game.
Points.
And that
They scored
technically nine, right? So that offense against the Bills defense, that's a nightmare. And I think that the Bills are going to prove to everybody that they belong. And the only way we see that game happen in Atlanta is if the Chiefs and the Bills play in the AFC title game. I think they know that. I think they're trying to get there. Obviously, I like the Bills to cover this number. This one's going to be ugly. I'll take the Bills the first half. I'll take the Bills for the game. The Bills all day.
If you're going to take the Bills, you should probably get the bet in now, because I think as the money pours in, nobody's going to be taking Miami here. That point spread, all these big point spreads in the first round of the playoffs, I'm laying the points. All of them. The better teams dominate in the postseason, I think, more often than not.
Gabe Davis scores twice. There you go. There's your prop bet of the day, Beaver. Gabe Davis, 1+ touchdowns.
I could see a situation where the Dolphins don't score at all.
I could see that too, to be honest.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, but
especially
it might
Buffalo
happen.
too. That place is going to be crazy.
This place is going to be rocking, absolutely rocking. So
sweeping them up.
We're all on the Bills on this one. There's not much to talk about with that. So moving on to I would say probably the closest one to call. I used to say that the Jaguars and Chargers game was a little closer than this one. This one's getting close. There's a lot of people that believe out there that the Giants can win this game outright. Remember, it took Greg Joseph's 61-yard field goal to get it done in the first game. Saquon, Daniel Jones, both playing for a contract here. If Daniel Jones shits the bed, you could start making the case that he might not be the guy over there. I don't know. He's led this team to a playoff appearance. Nobody had the Giants making the playoffs this year. Nobody. And if you did, you're lying, because the Giants were in a rebuild, right? And now they're here. And now there's people actually picking the Giants to win. The spread is 3. This has push written all over it. I don't know if this moves a half a point. There might be a little bit of something to go nuts on. But for this game, the Vikings defense has been shit. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, he ate last time they played the Giants. Can the Giants go punch for punch with the Vikings in a playoff game? I think they can. I'm going to ride with the Giants to win this game outright. I really do. I think the Giants are riding high. They're not supposed to be here type mentality. Same thing I was talking about with the Seattle Seahawks. Not supposed to be here. Here we are. Let's give it our best go. And if you're looking at the point differentials, like we talked about this morning on the Mojo Market, the point differential is -3 for the Vikings, and I think -9 for the Giants. It's just been
-6 and then -3.
Okay, -6 for the Giants, -3 for the Vikings. Both teams are shit. Spider-Man memed this one up. I think the Giants are riding a little bit higher right now, so I think they win the game.
Do you want me to pick first, since we both picked the same games? I'm taking the Giants. I think the Giants are gonna beat them pretty easily. Funny story: Nick Gates is the center of the Giants. He shattered his leg last year. He was at Cousins last night with Enzo.
Oh shit!
Fucking, I don't even know I'm cursing, but whatever. They were with this dude, and it must have been like the money man. You could tell the guy was well off. I don't know if you've ever been to Cousins, but they have like wine things, and they have things where prime like meat is. Like I'm talking like pieces of meat that are
okay.
Like
so then rewind. Have I ever been there?
Huh?
Why would I ever go there?
I don't know. That's true, but it's just like a big thing, bro. Yeah. The dude went in there. One of the guys they were with, and when I tell you, Gates was so embarrassed, like literally walked out, like was pissed off that he was even like standing next to the dude. Opened a thing and grabbed like a $10,000 piece of meat, and was like walking around the restaurant with it in his bare hands. Like that, they can't sell that anymore, bro. He had
to buy it.
Of course, bro. The dude Gates was so embarrassed. Was like walked.
So this is the guy that broke his legs.
The shouter's like he's Teddy Bruschi's comeback player of the year.
So he was, instead of going in Minnesota in the playoffs,
bro. That's what I thought too. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be on a plane?
Nah, they travel like Friday, like today.
He's still even on the team though.
Yeah, he's on the team. Yeah, he's a captain on the team. He's a center.
The center?
Number 65.
Starting center?
Yeah. Nick Gates, yeah.
And now he's got more meat.
I'm taking the Vikings. So I'm going to take the Vikings because I've been picking against the Giants all year, and they have definitely proven me wrong more often than not. When I look at it, I'm trying to put aside the fact that the Giants burned me all year by picking against them and look at the reality of it. They don't have any receivers. The biggest weakness for the Vikings is their defense. Obviously, there's only one real way for the Giants to be able to attack that, in my opinion, and that's with Saquon. teams tend to elevate in the postseason. I think Minnesota has more stars, more guys that are going to be able to elevate their game in these spots. Justin Jefferson had 16 targets, 12 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown in their last game. He might get 25 targets. The corners on the Giants are very bad. And I think Sam was talking about the over in this game. I think the over is the real play here because I could see everything in the second and maybe late in the fourth quarter. It might be a ton of points scored because of the desperation and poor defense on both sides. Like the Vikings could score quickly. And then as the Giants get desperate in the fourth quarter, I don't think this game is going to be out of reach at any point, even though it might seem that way. You'll see a close finish like last week with Philly, but I still got to take Minnesota.
The Vikings can score at like will if they need to. I feel like
that's what I'm saying. Like
Justin Jefferson's always open somehow.
I feel like if the Vikings are down 10 or the Giants are down 10 late in this game, you're going to get those 10. There's going to be a tie and then another field goal or something to end it. So I could see a push, but I'm leaning towards the Vikings just because I really do think they've been a better team all year. And in the playoffs, I think the better teams rise to the occasion and they're home.
There's a stat. Tony Benevento, past 62 wildcard games, outright winners are 54-7-1 against the spread. So take the spreads. This means lay the points if you like the favorite, but take the money line if you like the dogs. Interesting. And Ken, I know this is a very pivotal question here. It's not prime time, but it is standalone Kirk Cousins. So there's no other games against Kirk Cousins right now. He's on national TV in front of everybody watching. That could mean bad things.
I mean,
could.
Kurt Thuggins.
All right. So
Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones,
So
neither one is done.
Am I lone wolf in the Giants again?
No,
you took the Giants. All right, cool. Fine. I feel like
I'm not really sleeping on the Giants. I understand. My point was the fact that I've been wrong all year about the Giants, and I'm just looking at them still again, week by week. It's like, okay, I've been wrong. But then every week when I look at the matchups, I'm like, I just don't see how the Giants are going to move the ball, even though the Vikings suck. They only have Saquon. I think the Vikings just are going to be able to score more points.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
All right. Moving on, this game, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll get Kyle's opinion on this one because I don't know if this game's even close. As of right now, Lamar Jackson puts out the tweet yesterday. Sorry, fans, I'm not playing. You know, whoopsie daisy, my knee still hurts. And then all of a sudden, there's potential that, what's his guy? Huntley might not go either. This might be the Anthony Brown show. And what we saw last week out of that was nothing. The Bengals right now are your Super Bowl pick. We'll make our picks of the Super Bowl today, Super Bowl matchups today. But what I will say is you already picked and kind of went public with saying that the Bengals are one of your teams that are riding high right now. Do they cover this number? Yeah, they're going to blow them out.
I already said I kind of tipped my hand. I'm laying the points in every game that I'm like big point spreads dominate. These teams are going to dominate. The Ravens, they don't even want to be there, I don't think, at this point. Lamar's apologizing to the fans. I think Lamar really is upset that he's not playing. I know there's a little bit of things Dave's thinking that Lamar isn't playing because that's crazy talk, the whole contract thing. The one way to go out there and earn that contract would be to make a deep run in the postseason. If he was healthy.
Flip side, there's one way to lose all that contract money, and that's to play.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. He's looking for a guaranteed deal with a sore knee. If this was I'm telling you right now, if this was anybody else, they'd be playing. But this guy's playing for a contract. He can't fuck this up.
With Roquan getting paid, Lamar. I mean, that why would you pay that guy all that money?
Well, Roquan Smith is probably one of the better linebackers in football. But yes, they just dished out a boatload of cash.
Yeah, but that's to say that they don't have the money to pay Lamar. They still do.
I don't know. Woody Johnson came out on record and said he would pay top dollar for a star quarterback.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If
little
Woody
Jets
Johnson,
action here.
Okay, ready, Jets. Here's what it's going to take. You're going to have to pay him the guaranteed contract or whatever the fuck it is that top dollar is. And then, hey, that's saying Lamar is that. But the Ravens aren't stupid. They're going to franchise tag him, and then they're going to have to get 2 1s and a 2 or something crazy like that you just saw Russ go for. And then you're banking on not only giving him that massive deal, you're also mortgaging your draft capital for the future to get the star quarterback that right now is not playing. So I think it's a situation where the Ravens and Lamar have to figure it out because I don't know that a team is going to, and if they do, there may be a team that's going to do it, but it's only going to set that team back. Lamar isn't going to go to the Jets and then make that franchise all of a sudden a winner. I don't think so.
He's better than Zach Wilson. He's better than Mike White.
So he's
better than Joe Flacco.
And Jimmy G's a lot cheaper and a lot less. Like the Jets could.
Can Jimmy G take you to a Super Bowl?
Jimmy G's played in a Super Bowl.
I understand, but with that team, the Jets.
I mean, I don't think that team maybe, but add other pieces. But I can promise you this: Jimmy G's not going to cost you 2 1s, a 2, and 45 million over the next 6 years. Jimmy G's going to cost you about 18 mil this year and about 22 next. And
I wonder.
And then you're going to be able to move on and draft a quarterback and not even have the guy be offended. You're going to still be able to figure it out as you need to, but you'll have a veteran in there that will also be able to compete with your young starter. It's a perfect situation. Jimmy G is the perfect bridge for a Jets team. And guess who will be able to handle the New York media better than any free agent quarterback out there right now, or rookie for that matter? Jimmy G.
Guys, bang everybody that walks in New York.
That's the whole point. That's
why else?
Neither here nor there, but he's on the cover of GQ. He's Jimmy G. That's the guy, right?
Jimmy GQ. Don Morrow's coming in saying Lamar terrifies me. Like he's a Jets guy.
Nobody wants Lamar. Lamar Jackson is not. They may be really good in 1 or 2 seasons with Lamar, but they're going to be in a tough spot down the line if they make that.
The only thing I could say is that
the franchise tag is like
we thought.
million,
listen to the big names that have moved in our lives in the last 20 years. We never thought in a million fucking years Tom Brady would ever leave New England. We never thought in a million years that Seattle would part ways with Russell Wilson. Crazy shit has happened in the quarterback position. I think Lamar might be on the outs, man. I really do. And the only reason why I say this is because he's not playing this week. If he would have, dude, he's been out with an undisclosed knee injury. I know he broke it all down. He's like, I got PCL this and this soreness and this tenderness. That's all well and good, man. But guess what? The amount of time you've been out, dude, is not the recovery time for anybody else. I'm sorry. It's way too long.
Let's be honest. If Lamar was healthy and played this game with these rosters, are they beating the Bengals?
No.
They come a lot closer, and the spread would be 10.
I don't think that. I think the spread would be closer, but I think they still get lit up with Lamar. Lamar don't even have no weapons anyway.
I think they get lit up.
If I was Lamar, I'd be like, I don't even want to be here. Fuck this. You guys need to give me a receiver already.
Ready for this though? Kyle with a little thing. I heard the Jets are looking to trade draft capital for Kyler Murray. I wonder if Jets fans would feel good about that.
Who said that?
Kyle did. Said a word on the street.
He's lying.
I mean, he's not lying. He's probably read it somewhere along the tea leaves here. Anyway, I'm taking the Bengals. You're taking the Bengals. Where are you at, Rob, with this?
I gotta take the Bengals.
All right, we're rolling all with the Bengals as well. All right, so before we get out of here, obviously, we have ourselves Super Bowl picks, right? Uh-oh, what happened?
Where we go? Why
I lost it?
There
Sorry.
We go.
Super Bowl picks, right? I mean, we have to predict who's going to win the whole thing. Got to do it before. I know, obviously, we got the Tampa Bay and Dallas game. We'll talk about Monday, but clearly, if anybody picks those two teams, then that means they're picking them on Monday. Wonder who that could be. But I'll start with Chris. You've already kind of tipped your hat a little bit on the Bengals side. You would think, is that who you're sticking with? Yeah. Bengals, AFC champions.
Is your AFC.
Who is coming out of the NFC?
Niners.
So a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl. Who's winning it?
Bengals.
The Bengals are your Super Bowl champions, which is nuts if you think about it, because the first couple of weeks we were all talking about a hangover, Super Bowl hangovers. It's like, I can't believe they stink this bad, blah, blah, blah. Offensive line blows, blah, blah, blah. Can't protect Joey B. Somewhere along the line, this shit got turned around, and Joey B is unstoppable right now. And the Bengals could very well cruise to a Super Bowl. Rob, who is your Super Bowl representative in the AFC?
The Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills will. Now, if that happens, I'm just curious to know if you have an idea who they will play to get in, just based off the seedings and the standings. But I mean, like, all I'm saying is because of that neutral gang territory.
Play the Chiefs, it's in Atlanta anyway,
yeah. So,
right?
But can you imagine they had that game last year, a just insane game last year, and now you're putting them in a dome?
Like, they go crazy.
Fucking game. My thing is, take that over.
Why Atlanta's a good play though? It's because it's far away. If like their fans want to travel, both their fans have to travel. It's not like close enough for. It's not like when the SEC plays their fucking SEC championship game in Atlanta.
It's also Florida cool because I just got a fucking hotel and flight to the Culture Collision card show in Atlanta, and it's that weekend. So if they play that
you'll
game,
get tickets easy,
bro.
You
gotta go.
I mean, I probably would.
You have to.
Remember,
You're in Atlanta for that day. You gotta go.
I'm not spending a crazy ton of money to go.
I doubt it's going to be that much money though, because it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll see.
It's their fans. That's what I mean by how far both teams have to travel. Not that both teams can't travel.
It's like back to back. Technically, whoever wins that game is playing in back to back Super Bowls, because it's like AFC title game, neutral ground.
Where's the Super Bowl at?
It's not the
Arizona
same because it's like Super Bowl week is crazy.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just saying that
That's going to be
the AFC champion. If they win the Super Bowl, they would have played. If it goes to Atlanta, they would have played in 2 neutral gang territory games to win the whole thing.
That's going to be like an old like COVID way, like where it's just going to be straight football. Like it don't matter who's home.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Football,
I mean,
dude.
Personally, but that's what you play for home field advantage for.
Course,
obviously, this season's a little wacky.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you got the Bills in the AFC. Who is going to win the NFC?
Call me crazy. I'm going to say the Giants.
The Giants are going to win the NFC.
I'm just going to say the Giants. I think the Cowboys are definitely going to beat Tampa
One more
Bay,
time. The Giants are going to win the
NFC.
NFC.
And the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl.
Holy Lord. I don't know if I've heard that.
Is it gonna be a Graham Gano wide right field goal
for Scott Norwood? Oh,
right,
boy. Can you imagine?
Fix that.
The Giants here is it's just going to be legendary.
Looks like we got Kyle coming in. Vikings over the chart. The Vikings
he said this
over
in the
Chargers.
preseason, and I give him credit. He's sticking with it. Both of his predictions.
Listen, if that comes true, then you look like a fucking genius, and I hope you put money on that matchup.
He probably did.
You would assume he made. I was watching one of his videos yesterday,
Kyle?
and
Chargers, right?
He's saying the Vikings actually win the Super Bowl. Scoop is all for a Bills Giants rematch. Obviously, he wants the Jaguars to go up there.
All right, Dave, your turn.
Well, Mike saying the Cowboys in the NFC if Dak doesn't throw any interceptions. All right. Well, in the AFC,
so there's that.
The AFC, I kind of like the Chiefs. So it's like we all 3 of us have different AFC reps going in. I like the Chiefs. They were playing with their food last week. This team is firing on all cylinders. Like they're doing the fucking spin-a-Rooney thing with a touchdown, and now Kadarius Toney all of a sudden.
If I was, I would
corny
quit.
as fuck. But guess what?
Be like, I need a sub on this play.
Guess what? Guess what?
Doing that.
Stop it.
No, I wouldn't. I would be like, Coach, stop it.
No. Coach can do whatever he wants.
I would be embarrassed.
I would have called the timeout while they were spinning around.
It's like the annexation of Puerto Rico. Oh, what are they doing? They're a timeout. But look, the Chiefs are playing with their food. They're high octane offense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Kelsey, you can't
That's what
even. I wonder. That can't be a
Dave
rule.
would have been on the show Monday talking shit about me being a thug because I attacked the ring around the rosy. If I was on defense getting beat like that, I'd be like, fuck out of here.
And did what?
Penalty incoming.
just launch yourself into the circle pile.
Our season's over. Our coach
I got the
sucks.
Chiefs.
I want to prove how undisciplined our coach is by doing crazy shit. Get him fired.
I got the Chiefs in the AFC. I think they're, again, high-powered offense. The defense is suspect a little bit at times, but Patrick Mahomes, I love Joe Burrow. I hope it's the Chiefs and the Bengals in the AFC title game. I think there's a way that happens. And that would be a Chiefs home game. So
Kyle's trolling AJ. He's like, AJ's got a problem. Mahomes to throw 1+ touchdown.
For my NFC Super Bowl pick, look, the Eagles have run through the NFC this whole year, right? And then they beat teams when they should have. They struggled against teams for a little while. Then they ultimately won games. I'm not sure if the Chiefs. I'm not sure if the Eagles even get out of the NFC divisional round. I honestly don't. I think whatever team goes in there is going to be playing hot. Meaning, if the Seahawks don't win, it is what it is, right? Like whatever. But if the Giants win, the Giants would go to Philly. And on a third matchup there, I love the Giants. I really, really do. In the NFC, the other side, obviously Dallas has to get by Brady. That ain't no easy feat. But if he does do it, which I think they will, obviously we'll pick that game on Monday, but you already know where I'm going with it. So the Dallas Cowboys to win that game, they would probably go to either Minnesota or San Francisco. I like them there too.
You like even San Francisco?
Huh?
Actually, the Cowboys.
I love the Cowboys in San Francisco this year.
Kyle and AJ have a nice little.
I love the Cowboys in San Francisco this year. I really do. Last year, revenge, Purdy, come down to earth, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'll just call it how it is. I got the Chiefs and I got the Dallas Cowboys. If it doesn't happen this year, then we're in deep shit because there's a lot of guys. There's the Pollard situation. There's the Dak is getting paid $50 million next year. All this shit. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. And if they go one and done, McCarthy rumors, which I know Jerry Jones is all right. He's safe. Don't worry about it. He's going to be great. He's my guy, Mike McCarthy. I'm like, no. If you get bounced by the fucking Brady Bucks, you're out.
No, bro. You got to give McCarthy his flowers. You got to give him credit here. He's a really good coach. How many Cowboys coaches have won 12 games in 2 straight years?
Not since 95.
So he's like a really good coach.
I know you're being sarcastic and you hate him.
He's bro. How many playoff appearances does McCarthy have?
I read an alarming stat. If Tom Brady beats the Cowboys, Tom Brady will have more playoff wins than the Cowboys do in franchise history.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
that's gonna happen.
He's got
now.
36. The
That's also
Cowboys got
like he's been
36.
out 20 years, so
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you would hope that he played more than that.
Yeah, America's
Crazy stat. But yeah, I got the Cowboys coming in. This is it, man. This is it. I'm not saying this is our year. I'm saying this is their window.
5 games this weekend.
I think McCarthy gets extended
How many games go to overtime?
at halftime.
Fuck off, dude. I know you're trolling me right now, so just eat shit.
5
How many
games.
games go in overtime?
Remember, there's a new rule for anybody that doesn't know. Both teams get a possession, no matter what. 5 games.
Oh man,
How many go to overtime?
I hope one just to see it, just to see if it works and how effective it is.
Dallas is 0-2 in overtime games
Yeah, I
this
don't
year.
want to fucking talk about Dallas in overtime right now. Do not go to
They're
overtime.
0-2 in overtime games and 1-4 on grass.
The grass thing's got to stop.
And they're wearing blue.
I pulled,
And
and they're wearing blue. I pulled a Gooch on Twitter. I said, these guys have been playing football their whole life. Like, come on with this grass shit. They're grown men in the NFL and like, oh, the grass is gonna ruin them. Oh, I can't believe they're wearing blue. Like, what are we doing here? I make jokes to my guys all the time. I say, oh fuck, we're wearing this new stripe on their helmet. They're gonna fucking get crushed. And oh man, the bad luck Blues are back. Like, dude, these guys are gonna play football. They're a good fucking team. They won 12 games. Cowboys are gonna. I've been saying it. Cowboys will beat up on Brady. I truly think if they get to Brady, they're going to beat his ass. And then if they go to San Francisco, they win that game too. And then for the first time since 95, they'll at least be in the NFC title game against either the Giants or the Eagles, which I don't know if my heart can take that, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can fucking take. I think, honestly,
You won't have to worry about
because
it.
listen to me. When the Eagles, if the Eagles are there,
We're all good, right?
if the Eagles are
The
there,
49ers are going to dominate.
where?
We established that in week 3.
What?
We talked about. We talked about it in week 3. I was like, doesn't matter. The Cowboys are going to lose to them in the playoffs this year.
Fine. It's funny, but like what I'm saying is this: I would not be able to stomach a Cowboys Giants NFC title game because a Cowboys Eagles NFC title game, and we lose that game. I'm like, look, man, the Eagles are fucking as good as everybody said they were. That's that. I would be sick to my stomach and be fucking want to jump into traffic.
Things like that happen.
But if the Cowboys play the Giants, and for whatever reason the Giants pick them off and go to the Super Bowl I don't know if I can come back to work. I might have to go back into fucking driving a truck or something. I don't know if I can do this.
Or the Giants in the NFC Championship game and the Cowboys. That has to be recorded.
Recorded? I'm not recording myself.
We have to do
no,
that.
bro. I go to jail, bro. I go to jail. I would go to jail.
It's okay.
If that audio got out, I would go to jail.
Nah,
and I got kids.
We do sound
I got
off.
a lovely family. I'm not about to.
Those are things people need to see. We need to see heart attacks.
Oh shit, Kyle! You know what? Now I got to repick this whole thing. Bro. Dak Prescott officially 1-13, where the moon is a waxing crescent on Thursday prior to kickoff. Something to consider.
I've seen that actually.
It could be a thing.
Twitter.
We'll see. But in any event, we got the playoffs. They're here. No more time to predict who's doing what. It's time to play some football. Next week, the Chiefs and the Eagles are back. We'll see what happens there.
Kyle, but they're 0-4 in those games when it's played on grass.
The fuck is a McRiblet?
Yeah, what is a McRiblet?
Is that a whole new combo of something? Oh my god. Anyway.
Hey guys, check out the Mojo Market Report.
You can do that.
Every Monday.
You can absolutely do that. Monday through Friday, myself and Chris are on the Mojo Market Report. We're talking about player stocks, who to invest in, why to invest in, who's going to stink, who you might want to short. There's a lot of cool things happening with the Mojo app and business in itself, because I know that NBA is on its way.
On the 29th, the prop bets start.
Prop bets are coming. There's a lot of cool shit happening with Mojo, and we're glad to be a part of it, at least through February. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. But that'll do it. That'll do the show. That'll be a feel-good football Friday. So for Sturch, Gooch, Wrestling, Rob, and of course, Ash in the corner has been very quiet like a mouse, but then you have
Break Buddy Joe.
Break Buddy Joe comes in here just busting doors down and shit. So thank you for coming in here and giving your 2 cents. And yeah, we'll see y'all back here on Monday to talk Cowboys Bucks.